Hi everyone, it's Nat here. Hope you are all doing well. I'm on with a fun little project today, something I've been wanting to do for ages. I sat down for half an hour to an hour the other night just sorting out little bits of cardboard scraps, all my tags and packaging, all that sort of thing. I had stacks of it, and these are some, not all, only some of my shop tags, mainly secondhand shop tags. So usually I pull them off if they look all right and keep them for some recycling projects. I thought we'd do some of that today. So what I want to do is just quickly go through. Some of these are a little bit wrinkled and bent, and some of them are really good. So I just want to separate them into piles because it's one project that will be okay to do with the ones that are a bit wrinkly and bent because I'll cover them and then it won't be so bad. And then the nicer ones I can use for another project because there's a few different ways I'd like to recycle these. So as you can see, I do a lot of shopping at the Salvos, which if you don't live in Australia, the Salvos is run by the Salvation Army and it is a charity shop, or you might know it as a thrift store, second-hand shop, that sort of thing. Must get there again soon. I haven't been second-hand shopping for a few weeks now and I'm missing it a little bit. All right, so these ones are all pretty good and don't have creases and that in them, so I'll put them back in the bag, and today we'll work on the ones that are a bit junkier. So I have a paintbrush and my PVA and some water to wash my paintbrush out in, and a palette to mix my PVA in, and I've got just some of my old vintage book pages. So firstly I'd just like to cover these in vintage book page. It will look good and it will make them sturdier. So I'll just rip some of these out. So I'll just find a couple of pages that I like the looks of. So I'm just tipping some PVA. Whoops, that's way too much. I always do that. Get busy talking. But that's all right. Probably should be doing it in a jar so I could put the lid on, which I might do next time. And that way, if I've got too much, I can just put the lid on and then use the rest later on. All right, and I know I was going to water it down, but we've got... I don't know if I need to water it down, really. Sometimes I think water just makes it more, makes the paper wrinkle more, so I don't want it too wet. I'll just put a little bit in out of my bottle. There, that should do. Okay, so there's a bit of writing on that side, so we'll stick it onto that side. And I sort of want solid text, so I'll stick some down this bottom half, I think. So all I'm going to do is PVA over the top and just stick it down, and we'll do both sides. So I'm just going to mix that water in a bit. So just making sure I get the PVA over the whole tag there. Smooth it out a bit. And just trying to remember, I do want the font going that way, so then I'll just stick it down on there like that. So I'll just repeat that and cover the, I should be able to fit 3 tags down on this bottom part. I could do one up the top, maybe going the other way, we'll see. So mainly want to make sure I get the PVA in the corners especially, because they're the parts that always tend to lift up. So I do have my roller here, so I can use that just to give them a real good flatten like that. So what I'm going to do is continue on and stick a whole lot of these on at once, because I'm doing a bit of a mass make with these. And then I'll be back on to show you the next part. So I have finished sticking down all the ones that had wrinkles and that in them to the first side of paper. So now my job will be to cut these out. So start with this one. So I'll just go along the edges. And these scraps I'll put in my scrap collage bin. The bigger bits anyway. Some of the bits I'll put in the recycling. So that's one side done. Let's get a little wrinkle in there, but that's all right. So that's what that side looks like now. So I'm going to go off and finish cutting them all out. So I thought I'd whack my PVA and brush into a Ziploc to try and keep it wet while I cut all of those bits out. I think it worked all right. So we have all these beautiful covered tags now. Now I've just got to do the same on the other side. Now I might try and keep the font going the same way. So we'll put that across that way. Doesn't really matter, it's just me. fit another one there or not. Maybe not. Now this page looks pretty good. So I will just finish doing this and cut them out, and then I will come back and do the rest with you. So here are all my little tags that I've covered, both sides with book pages. They're all nice and dry now. They're not too warped, but I can stick them under a book or something later just to flatten them out a bit more. So they're looking good. Now we want to figure out what we're going to do with them. So I'm going to grab my distress inks for starters. I think we might need those. I'll have my 2-minute noodles that I forgot I was getting myself. They can just sit there and cool down. And I've grabbed some dictionaries. I thought we might do a couple with dictionary meanings for starters. So I was going through a few dictionaries, but I come across this one, and I think this one might be the go. I like this one because it has the words in uppercase, and I don't think... No, the others have them in lowercase, and I like that because it will stand out more. Now, that's another reason I decided to do my text going this way on the tags, because I'll have the text going that way for the dictionary meaning, and I think it'll help it stand out a bit more, was my thoughts there. So now I just want to find words that we think are appropriate or fun or whatever. So my iPad filled up and switched off, and I had made another 4 tags before I realised that had happened. So I'm going to show you again what I did. So we'll get up to where we were before. Now, I was using walnut stain and it wasn't quite dark enough for what I wanted. So I have now changed to ground espresso. So I'm going to ink around this tag. If I had any sense, I'd try and do all the inking at once. I've got, I just cut out another 4 words from the dictionary, or meanings, I should say. It's got the word and the meaning. So I want to ink around the edge of those as well. Just helps them stand out a bit more on the background. Waiting for the sun to come up so I can get out and do a whole lot of washing and gardening. And I've got a carport that's filled up with all the big boxes from furniture and that I've been getting, and I need to get the boxes out on the garden as well with some newspaper and that. So I've got a lot of work to do out there. It's a bit milder weather today. I think we're back down to 20 something, so that'll be a lot nicer. Okay, now what I'm going to do is ink another one of these. And then I'll grab, that's quite a big one. I think I'll leave that one for something else and grab 2 more of these ones. So with this one, what I would like to do is make it into a banner. So I'm just cutting a little bit up the center base and then cutting from the corner to the top line. So cut up the center and then cut from the corner to the top of where I've cut. It's just an easy way to try and get an even cut out for your banner. And then what I want to do is make a bit of a smaller banner. So I'm just going to cut the bottom of this off a bit and then do the cut for the banner again. little piece for something. So I'll ink around the edges of this one as well. I need to do the top side of these, I think. Now, did I do both sides of those? No. Just do the back side of this one. Alright, so that's those ones. And then I've got one more I want to do, which can be this one. Now with this one, I'm going to corner round. Just trying out different ways to see what I like. So that makes a nice shape tag. Could even use that as a base for a label. Would look pretty cool. So we'll ink around that as well. Now with all of these, if you wanted to, you could cover the back with some plain paper so they could be written on. Okay, now I'm just thinking which one to start with. I should do the one that I was halfway through showing you first. So for that one, I'll use this. This one says Chivalry. So we're going to put that on there, and I'm going to layer it onto, which you probably saw me do this, but I'm going to do another one because then I'll have more, which will be good. So this piece looks good. So I'll stick that down. And then we can fray the ends if we want. Let's stick that onto our little tag. And then I found some lace here that I've been hoarding. I quite like that. So I want to cut a bit of that off. Just trying to figure out where to cut it. Think about that will do. And then I will grab, got things everywhere here. There they are. Got some eyelets here, so I might grab a couple of those out. Just using my bronze ones because I've got heaps of those. And my crocodile. Just using a small hole for this. Now, stick our eyelet through. Now, if it doesn't grab the lace, it doesn't really matter because we will stick a bulb pin through, which will hang on to that. It's not really centered, but that's all right. And I have some bulb pins. Again, I'm going to go for the bronze ones. Grab a few of those out. You can, of course, use pins or whatever you have, like normal ones. Now, the other thing is too, I do have some charms. I think that'll go nicely. So I'll stick our charm on first. Then put the bulb pin through and do it up. And so there we've got a little dangly charm tag thingy that we can hang somewhere in our journal. So I quite like that one. So that's the first one. Now, next I will tackle this one. So for this one, I've got some brown fabric here. And what word will we use? We've got classic. That's a big word, but that would look all right. So we're going to put that onto our brown fabric. Now we're going to want to fray it a bit too, and this edge I can't fray until I cut it, so I'll cut a bit off so it does fray. Then we'll stick our word onto that. You can always experiment with different coloured fabrics and inks, depending on what sort of journal you might want to put these in. Which I intend on doing in the future. Just thought I'd try out a few different things and then I can keep them for my ideas book or whatever. So then we can stick this on. So this is a really simple one. And then again put a hole in there. Looks nice with the eyelet in there. And there's another one ready. I mean, with all of these too, if you didn't want to use eyelets and that, you can just leave them as tags, put a back on so you can write on them and then just slip them into pockets and that. So I'll probably end up making a few like that as well. Also, you don't need the bulb pin. You could put just some ribbon in there, or actually this one would look nice with just a bit of string, which I might do. I think that would suit it even better. That's something a bit different. So I'll just see what string I have in my little junk string thingy. I'd have to have something in here appropriate, no doubt. See, this dark brown stuff would be awesome. So I can either tie it, or maybe we'll just whack it through like this if it fits. Yeah, I like the way that looks. Might even look better just tied on, but that's pretty cool. That's a nice simple one. And then next one is those. We'll do them last. So with this one, we'll use Brilliant. Maybe we'll just we'll do Brilliant on this one, and I'll use just a bit of my Calico scrap. My work area has just got smaller and smaller today with all the stuff I've dragged out to do this with. Again, I'll just fray the edges. I'll put this one up a bit. Now for this one, I think I'll use a bit of lace. So I've just got to find a bit that I think is appropriate. So I've got that one. I could cut a bit of this one off. I'll just cut a bit and see. Cut it in half. Yeah, I think I like that. I think I like them both, but I think I'll do this one. then we can put, now shall we, or shall we just put a tie in it? So let me see what I've got in my scrap ribbon bin. If I can find it, it should be here somewhere. Or do I have some lace that would be suitable to tie? Let's just get an eyelet in there for a start. So I'm going pretty crooked with them. I did some earlier on when the camera wasn't on and they weren't too crooked, which was good. Oh, didn't sound good, but it worked all right. That's the main thing. So let's just see what this is like if we put it through. It's very short. See if I can tie it. I sort of can. Tied up a bit tighter. That's not too bad. I'll leave it like that anyway, something a bit different. All right, and then the last one that I want to do today is this one. And for this one, I did find it's this thinner lace, and I'd like to use some of this. I want to make it about the same length as our bottom banner. And then I'm going to cut a little bit out as if it is a banner itself. Just a little bit of a triangle down the bottom so it sits on top of there quite nicely. I think that'll do, that's not too bad. And then this one is going to sit on top of it like that. But I do want just a little bit of something on that one. So I'm going to grab a little bit of my cheesecloth fluff. Just because I can, because I have to use it for something. And I'm going to adhere this with glue stick because I sort of find it the best way of sticking this stuff down. It just gives it a bit of texture, makes it not so boring, I think. And then I do have the word charity here, and I might just cut out the word. It's a very little word. Try and get some ink on this edge and put that up the top. If I offset it a little bit, it might stand out a little bit. Like that. Now this is sticking to my finger. Just going to snip this bit off. So what I would like to do with this one now is put my eyelet in it. I want to put them together about like that, just offset a little. So I'll put my hole about midway of that distance, about in the middle there. Just pulled some of the lace caught through there. So I'll put my eyelet in. The cheesecloth keeps sticking to my finger. And then we will give that a squeeze. And that's going to hold it all together. And if you want, then you can move it about. So move your lace out and have it however you want that way. But I like it all together like that. So for that one, I like to put in a bulb pin. All right, so I found this little charm that says believe. I really like that. I think that'll go nice with charity. So I'll pin that through. And through there. And then we have that lovely little dangle as well. So there's so many things that I could do with these bases that I made. I've still got a few of them left, which I must do things with. But I thought that's probably long enough video for you, and a few ideas there to get you started if you want to give it a go. There are still some different ones that I want to make and show you. So it'll be a bit of a series, this one, I think. But I will show you the ones that we made together. Hang on, get the right one here. With these, of course, you could use all sorts, different ties, ribbons, and said you could use different coloured inks. So if I'm doing a nature journal, I might just ink in green or something if I want. So you can fit them into anything really. And then these were the ones I did before the camera, well, after the camera switched off that you didn't get to see. So they're basically the same, but that one's got a bulb pin. I do prefer it with the string actually, that style. So it's good because you try these things out, you see what you like, and then I'll put the one that I like the most in an ideas journal, and then I can repeat that. I'm sure I'll get a lot more secondhand store tags. I'm planning to go again soon. So, yeah, this will be a project that I do quite often. And then there's those ones with the dragonflies, which I love. Then we've got that one with the lace on the bottom. And then this is my other one with the banners. Might find something else to dangle, maybe some beads or something even. Must get some more charms or make myself some more, even better. I could do that, just make a little word charm. That would be cool. Must look into doing that as well. So that was cool fun, and I'm really happy with those. And it's a bit of work to cover these and that, but really, most of, all of these ones had creases and everything in them. So just putting the book page over makes them nice and straight, nice strong base, and I think they turn out looking really cool. So give it a go if you keep your tags and that from things you buy. See what you can make with them. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.